From the street side, we've now moved over to the right side of the building, which is primarily for fire and EMS. And Chief, where are we now in the building?
Yeah, so now we're in the dispatch administrative assistant office. So just off the vestibule, anybody can come in 24 hours a day. We'll be able to speak to somebody, whether they're in this office or somewhere in the building, obtain your fire permits, your gas and oil burner permits, or initiate a conversation about some other question that you have. Again, just like on PD, there's then the ability to enter the lobby. So the administrative assistant for the fire department will do most of their work here, while also being able to assist the public.
Well, let's move further through. We've moved from the main entrance off to the right front of the new building, and we're now in the apparatus bay. This is where all of the fire equipment will be kept. Chief, tell us a little bit about what's so special about this area.
Yeah, so obviously the start is it's a much bigger space for us. Everybody that's seen the current fire station, everything's really jammed in there. So this will give people space to work around the apparatus, safely move the apparatus in and out. It will allow for future 40, 50 years down the road expansion. The other side is this is the floor that we have the radiant heat in, which will be very efficient as far as our heating costs go. And the comfort of this space, as well as all these LED lights are very energy efficient. I think they cost like a penny a month to operate. So yeah, there's a couple dozen of them, but basically for 50 cents a month we're lighting the entire apparatus bay.
So heat, light, electrical costs have all been taken into account in this project, and should be an extraordinarily tight building.
Yeah, from the word go, we knew that we would probably be somewhere close to 50% savings between what the two buildings used to operate on. We looked at it as 40 to be conservative. And based on the numbers that we have from the Farmington usage, which is going to be fairly similar, we're probably going to exceed that 50% savings in heating and electrical costs.
Quite impressive. And in order to keep costs down, I know that at one time solar was considered, and as I understand it, we can go for solar at a later time should some federal or state funding become available.
Sure. Yeah, so conceptually it's not as easy to see, but now that the building's standing, there's a lot of roof space up above us, which is really facing, I'm sure the perfect angle would be different, but it's facing that south-southwest direction. That's ideal for solar capture. And so just roof-mounted solar, not only on this section, but potentially looking at the other roof systems. There's a lot of space up there that could absolutely be used for that in the future.
So I'm sure you and your whole department are looking forward to the end of July and a move-in day.
Very much so.
Indeed. We've now moved from the apparatus bay at the front of the building into another area. What's this space for, Chief?
Yeah, Bruce, this is, as we're standing, this is where our structural firefighting gear will be stored. So obviously in previous videos and work on the old building, we've noticed that our gear storage is right with the trucks. And generally between the ambulance and that rack and engine 4 and that rack, you've got about shoulder width to put your firefighting gear on, worrying about the trucks moving around you. This moves that out of that space. So one, it keeps it confined to its own space as we deal with and learn more about the carcinogens and all the bad, nasty stuff we bring back from fires. It keeps it centralized here, kind of out of the general workspace, and also provides ample storage for about 40 sets of turnout gear, which is kind of your target number for a town our size. We don't have that many members now. Again, looking to the future, whether some blend of part-time, full-time, and call staff, it'll give us that space that we're going to need. Immediately off of this space is an area for our SCBA compressor, so our air bottles that we breathe off of in fires. We can get those filled. There's an EMS storage closet, so all of our medical supplies can be stored, our batteries can be charging on a shelf, and then off to your right-hand side is a decon room. So that decon room is one room, wet room with a floor drain in it that has your slop sinks, has a hazmat shower that if you need to do a gross decon after a call, has the washer, dryer, the gear extractor, everything in that space. And there's a door from the apparatus bay that allows you to come in a contaminated, dirty kind of situation, get clean your gear in there, and then bring it out into this space to be stored for the next call.
So that separates contamination from clean areas,
Yes.
and allows greater safety for the firefighters who weren't on that call.
Right.
And also protects those who were on that call.
Absolutely.
So this is a significant improvement from the old facility.
Yeah, very much so.
So let's continue on. We've now moved upstairs above the fire area, and we're now in a space that's going to be used for what, Chief?
Yeah, so this is the living space, so to speak, for the fire department. The fire department staffs 24/7, like you've already said. They operate on 24-hour shifts. So once the evening time comes, it's a space that they can come to. There's bunk rooms so that they can rest between calls at night. There'll be kind of a sitting area where they can relax, and then also kind of behind the camera, there's enough space there to, similar to the PD, have a conference room table, kind of a separate meeting space, so that if you have a fire department specific meeting that isn't necessarily have it around the kitchen table, you can come up here, conference up here, train up here, and satisfy all those needs. So really it's that evening time space for the crews to kind of unwind, do their evening trainings, have those conversations, and then a place to rest between calls in the evening.
Very good. Away from the bunk area and ready room for the fire department, we come through into the mechanical area, and a special area now for the servers and secure computer equipment that is upstairs, locked and safe. And Chief, what other gear will be going in here, and how will this area be used?
Yeah, so Bruce, one of the nice things we were able to do, obviously a lot of people know this is a sister station to the station that Farmington built, was this mechanical area needs a lot of space, but there was some opportunity to use some of that space for some of that lesser accessed infrastructure. So this room that we have the door open is the server room, right? So PD requirements require that to be a super secure site and limit and control access. So all of that infrastructure comes into this room or out of this room when it comes to the internet and those services. But the other thing that comes through here is all of the telephone lines, all of the door control devices, which are all those green wires you're staring at. So all the internet, all the telephone, all the door control devices are in a secure area where there's limited access. The room just behind us will be all of our radios. So the radio equipment for fire and police is located there. Some of the PA systems in the future that will be throughout the building will be located there. That area doesn't have to be as secure. So it still allows, it'll be under lock and key, but allows access to do any maintenance. But it, again, better utilizes this space so that we could gain a little bit more in the working area of the building.
Great. We've now moved outside in the back of the building, and there's a secure door so that no one will be able to enter without key access. And this area will be used for parking for the personnel who are working in the building, so that the front of the building will be available for public use. And Ben, perhaps you can talk about some of how we preserved the hill and protected the building and the type of construction that went into this.
Yeah, so Bruce, we're out back of the building. Obviously, we built into a pretty substantial change in grade, and so there needed to be a significant retaining wall put in that's all engineered and tied back in, and we'll retain that bank in. The construction type, where it's built into the ground, it's ICF construction. In the back here, it's a super thick, it's a thicker wall, which was engineered so that it would retain the dirt behind it. And what it then did was allow for that more parking that we've talked about previously. And so, when you look at the front of the building, you might say, oh, it doesn't seem like they have any more parking. And where we really gained it is roughly 18 parking spots back here. It'll largely be used for staff. And like you said, they can come in the morning, park their vehicles out behind the building, enter the building, either go down the stairs to the locker rooms to get changed out for the day, or into that top floor, or out of that top floor at the end of their shift.
So this will provide area for your personnel also?
Yes.
We're now getting to the end of our tour, back in the lobby area, and just want to say a special thank you to our videographer, Kate Overton, Bristol Media Manager, for all of the work he puts in to prepare the buzz, keep our website up to date, and support our community by keeping everybody informed. And Chiefs, do you have any concluding remarks?
Yeah, certainly we appreciate you guys coming today, taking a look at the building as we get really close to completion. Also, Gruen has done a fantastic job managing the project for us, and getting this building to where we're close. We're a month or two away from being in and operating. And certainly, I know I probably speak for the police department as well. The fire department always feels well supported by the taxpayers and by the residents and the citizens of the town, and this is just another level of that. Year after year, it's a good process to where we build a budget so that we can do our jobs, and to now have this commitment from the town to do our jobs in a building that's appropriately sized and is really going to function very well for us and allow both agencies to better work together is huge. So certainly a big thank you to the residents and the taxpayers in the community.
And Chief, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I think Ben explained it great. We really appreciate it. I've been here for almost 18 years working out of a building that doesn't work for us, and we're excited to be able to get into a nice building that will work great for the police department. So I want to thank everybody.
Well, here's to the next 50 years of the Bristol Public Safety Building. We look forward to a public ceremony to open the building. Target date is July 30th, and there'll be more information posted in the Buzz and elsewhere in town as the date gets locked in. Thank you, Bristol. Have a great day.